Hello, hello, heathens. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a returning freak of this freak show, take your regular seat, grab a snack, grab a drink. For those of you who are fresh meat, please kindly do us the favor of sitting in the front so that we can all judge you accordingly. We usually judge you with love, but it's judgment nonetheless. And today, this is an appropriate topic because we are going to be talking all about judgment. Specifically, judging ourselves. Yes, I'm being silly in the opening of my videos when I say, hey, fresh meat, sit in the front so we can judge you, blah, blah, blah. It's a joke. I know some people probably think I'm being serious and they're like, oh, what a bitch. I'm going to thumbs down her video and never come back. Fine. Nobody wants you here anyway. But the truth of the matter is, you all know I don't believe in judging anyone for personal choices. The only person that we have any authority on judging on this planet is ourselves. And therefore, we have to be our harshest critic. I am my harshest critic all the time. It's necessary. So what am I yapping about? Nostalgia. Nostalgia, that lovely feeling you get when you look back at your old creative works. And this is applicable to anything. This can be sculpting, illustration, painting, I don't know, embroidery, fashion design, whatever falls under the creative umbrella, something that you are making physically, okay? You look back and you love everything, and it's a lovely feeling, right? Obviously, that is another bad joke because chances are most of you out there look back at your old work, not all of it, but probably the vast majority of it. You look back at it and you absolutely detest it. You look at it and you experience a little bout of secondhand embarrassment. Oh my God, look how bad I was. Look at my horrific technique. How embarrassing. La la la, right? You look at it and you damn near convulse to death because you are cringing so hard. Sounds unpleasant, right? It sounds like an unpleasant way to spend a little rainy afternoon, right? Because that's usually when people go through their stuff. It's raining outside, it's snowing outside, it's cold, and you start digging through your boxes and looking at your old photos and all that. Okay. Well, as unpleasant as that feeling is, I'm here to tell you that it is actually an incredibly positive thing to experience. Stop clutching your pearls for a minute. Hear me out, because I know that sounds weird. Karla, why do you want us to be miserable? Karla, why do you think it's a good thing that we look back at our old work? And why is it a good thing that we're embarrassed by it? Okay. It's simple, honestly. Really, truthfully, listen to me. It is as simple as growth and change is usually such a slow process that you don't realize that it's occurring until months and years down the line. So, you might be in a position currently where you don't think you've made any improvements. But the second you go back and look at, 6 months, a year, 2 years ago, work that you've previously created, you see the gradual improvement. And that is where the magic of that nostalgic cringe lies. You may not realize the change at all, okay? Until you are eyeballs deep in the past. I know they say hindsight is 20/20, and in this situation, that is very true. If you produce an illustration, a painting, novella, or whatever I mentioned earlier in this video, and you continue to work on your craft consistently for 6, 12, 24 months, you will absolutely look back at the work that you previously produced and see a marked improvement. Change, improvement, and evolution. But the key here is being consistent in pursuing the improvement of your skills, because if you whip out your sketchbook once every 6 months, once every 12 months, baby, you're not going to see any improvement, okay? It has to be a true passionate pursuit of improving and evolving your skills. You may like a piece or two that you created several years ago, and you will definitely dislike a piece or two. A failed experiment maybe you may look at and hate but see some potential in it. You may come across an idea that flopped, but maybe you weren't ready at that particular time to explore that idea, and now you want to resurrect it and try again. All of those blips in your creative process, they helped to land you where you are today. And again, as long as you've been trying to progressively improve, that is a good thing. It's a good thing. I personally will admit that I'm not the best at holding on to all of my old work. In fact, it's something that I'm working on improving in myself. I have a very chaotic brain. I'm not a dirty person, but I can be a bit of a messy person. And what I mean by that is I will hang on to as much old work as possible and I will shove it in a box. Okay, the box looks nice and neat, right? But when you open that box, it is a mess. Everything is disorganized. It's just a bunch of old work. And then I get another box and I put that box on top of the old box. So outwardly, everything looks neat, but it's chaotic inside, right? And I don't like that feeling of chaos. And because I'm so prolific of a sketcher, I accumulate mountains of stuff. And so I have learned how to kind of curate what I should and shouldn't keep in terms of old work. So I am gradually getting better at discarding piles of my old work. Let's say I produced 100 pieces in a month, which that's outrageous, but I'm just giving you an example here. Simple math because my brain cannot math, okay? But if I produced, say, 100 sketches in 1 month, I will keep maybe 15 to 20 of them and discard the rest. That's the level of purging that I'm trying to achieve currently. So I go through my stuff regularly and I discard a few pieces here and there. It's what I do. I, a few years ago, went through this manic episode where I completely purged myself of all of I used to keep diaries when I was a kid. And the thing is I never felt comfortable journaling. I just did it because it was kind of like a place to simply throw ideas and sketches and clippings and all kinds of stuff into a book. It was more of a scrapbook kind of a situation. But I just feel as though putting words on paper is way too personal for me. I don't like to do that. And so I threw it all away. And I'll tell you, I don't regret it one bit. I don't regret it one bit because I was trying to be, by keeping these physical records, these journal, sketchbook, scrapbook hybrids, that was what was considered normal, and it still is, right? It's what people do as a form of expression. And I tried to buy into that idea, but it was never for me. I'm always more comfortable being that hermit in my bat cave. Leave me alone. I express myself very visually and abstractly because I like to keep myself to myself, you know? So anyway, that tangent aside, just be very discerning about what you keep, but please don't be afraid to throw things away. But also make sure that you keep things even if they are cringe. I will continue to keep a lot. All of that said, good work, interesting work, bad work, sentimental work, as long as I have a valid reason to keep the thing, then I'll hang on to it. I see the value in hanging on to some bad work because of the lessons that it taught me. The lessons that, say, a piece that I created 5 years ago that at the time I hated, maybe at the time my skill wasn't at the level that I wanted it to be at, there were ideas there that are still valid. And if I bring that piece out, it will inspire me to try again and to try another technique. Do you see what I'm saying? Is that even though something might be a throwaway, there might be a little bit of value in it. So just don't be ashamed of it. You can cringe a little bit at yourself, by all means, cringe, but don't outright feel hindered because of your past bad work, because it's a good thing. Do I hate my old work? No, not always, not necessarily. Is it bad work? Absolutely. A lot of it is, especially when viewed through the lens of today. If I apply the lens that I have today, my critical lens, back to the work I was producing 5 years ago, yeah, I'm going to think it's awful. But again, there are always some nuggets of value even in that old work. As I mentioned earlier in this video, I am a prolific sketcher. Not as prolific as I would like to be, but I do sketch frequently and I sketch often. My sketchbooks for the most part are private. I rarely expose the goods to the public, not because of shame, not because of this, that, or the other. I just don't see the point in sharing everything. I do, though, share some of my completed sketchbooks on YouTube. I do sketchbook tour videos. And so yeah, I do expose some of the cringe to the public. But a lot of it is just private scribbly work that isn't even worth looking at. My coloring books, however, are an entirely different story. My style as a coloring book illustrator has absolutely changed over the years. Not only has there been technical improvement, but there has been stylistic evolution as well. And before I get into diving into that topic just a little bit more, I want to briefly mention what it is that I'm working on in this video. So in this video, I have 2 watercolors that I'm messing around with. If you are interested or curious in any of the supplies, take a look down below. I will have the supplies listed and or linked. Again, they're watercolor and ink pieces, and I may or may not be applying some gold leaf to this pieces, I don't know, but that's what you are seeing in this video. Not getting experimental, not trying anything new, just a typical Karla style ink and watercolor illustration. Okay, so if you're interested in these supplies, take a peek down below. Okay, now let's get back into the video. Also, as of the filming of this video, I do not know if, I know that I'm going to have one of these pieces available for sale, but I don't know if it is available yet. I will have a note in the description box below if it is available. Okay, so let's get back into it. So I was talking about my coloring books, yes? While my early coloring books favored a highly sketchy, I mean, they were super sketchy, super scriggly, scraggly, doodly work, I have since shifted, and it was a gradual shift into a bolder, cleaner, yet in some ways more detailed style. Why? I don't know. I just have. It was just a natural evolution, a natural progression. I still release coloring books periodically that are very much in a rough and sketchy sketchbook style. In fact, the word sketchbook appears in those particular titles. So for instance, I've released the Macarons sketchbook, the Spooklets sketchbook, and I have the Aesthetica Synthetica sketchbook. So it's in the title. That scritchy original style of working, I still release books, but it's just not the majority of what I produce now. Do I hate my old books? No, of course not. Do I want to pull them off the shelves because I'm so embarrassed by the style? No. Just because that is not what I have in mind for coloring books now doesn't mean that I hate them, doesn't mean that I'm embarrassed. I respect and honor them for what they are. At the time, that is what I wanted to produce, and so that is what I did. Could I recreate them in my current style and my current skill level and have them represent better my current stylistic preferences, and just for the sake of consistency, just to have them be a little bit more matchy with my current style? Yeah, of course. I could absolutely pull them all from the shelves and I can redo them and re-release them, but will I? No, hell no. They are part of my creative history, part of my process, and they were right for me at the time. And it's just, it would feel a little gross for me to just discard that part of my history, because creating coloring books was a pivotal part of my evolution as a creative. Why would I erase that from history simply because it's not who I am now? It's a silly idea. And again, you should apply this idea to your old work. You can look back at your old work. You don't necessarily have to like it, but respect it. Don't be embarrassed of it. And don't stop it from keeping you from continuing on and improving your skills and evolving. My coloring books are, in a silly way, in essence, my personal prehistoric geological strata patterns, right? And I'm living for that. I'm a dork. I'm all about the dinosaurs. I'm all about prehistoric strata. She's using the jargon. For those of you who don't know, prehistoric strata, if you know anything about geology and the geological record, if you cut the earth into chunks, deep chunks, right, just slices, you are going to see different colored rock and different compositions of rock. It's going to be, a stripe of orange, a stripe of red, a stripe of gray. Those stripes are strata. Just a little nerd talk for you. But anyway, my old work, my coloring books specifically, are my fossil record. They are me laid bare for the public to gawk at like some sort of creative coloring book dinosaur. I can't erase it from the record. It is permanently there, and I'm cool with that. Do we have a record? Have we found all of the dinosaurs in the world? All of the ridiculous looking abominations? No. Same thing. The world will never see all of my sketchbook abominations either. They will get a few, but not all of them. Don't erase your history entirely. Just keep what matters. Now more than ever, in a world of stylistic trends, digital assist, AI, and algorithms, and all of that bullshit, the rough-hewn human touch is so important, especially if it falls short of being perfect. I have uploaded a video on my thoughts on AI previously and how I'm not a fan of AI. I don't use it, I don't believe in it, but also I don't hate it for the reason that once AI takes over, the scrappy artists, those of us who are true to ourselves, those of us who don't strive for perfection, those of us who simply strive to be ourselves, we are going to be what the world is looking for. Nobody's going to be wanting to look at the perfect artwork. They want something with soul. They want something that's a little wonky. For me personally, I can look at a beautiful masterpiece. Show me anything by Fragonard, okay? Beautiful, perfect. But what touches me the most is folk art, the wonky anatomy, the bright, bold colors. Things are a little bit off because there's a more human element to that. And I dig that. That's what I'm all about, being myself as imperfect as it is. And you should too. Embrace that shit. Embrace it. So there you go. Moral of the story today. It is okay to cringe at your old work. Laugh and cringe yourself to death about how bad it is, but respect it. Honor it. It got you where you are today. It's okay to throw some of it away, but not all of it. It's all part of who you are. And if you are truly passionate about pursuing your creative pursuits consistently, you should see the value in all of the stepping stones that you took in order to improve and evolve. Got it? All right. Thank you so much for watching. That is going to be my little pep talk for today. Again, all of the art supplies that I used in this video will be available down below. And if the piece is available, I will also make a notation down below. If she's not available yet, I'm not sure if I'm going to have both of them for sale, if not, or just one. I think I'm going to hang on to one because I have some plans. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But in any case, thank you for watching. Take a look down below. Everything you need to know will be down below. Links to supplies, links to my website, my socials, Patreon, all of that good stuff. Be bad, be good. You know I don't give a damn which. Just make sure you come back in one piece, and I will see you in the next one.